All right, we are here at Levi's Stadium in sunny Santa Clara, California, home of the reigning NFC champion San Francisco 49ers. I was at their practice today, the 8th stop on my camp tour. I got 5 takeaways. Takeaway number 1, the defensive line has historically been a strength under Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. A little bit up and down last year, which necessitated the trade for Chase Young. Looks like it's going to be a real strength again in 2024. Nick Bosa, at the request of Kyle Shanahan, was a more consistent presence at OTAs. He's had a nice start to the summer. Javon Hargrave was dealing with a lot last year. He's better positioned in 2024. And Malik Collins looks like he's going to be a real nice addition as a veteran being plugged in to that defensive line. Defensive line really in position to bounce back. Takeaway number 2, speaking of bouncing back, put Javarius Ward in that category as well. He's been dealing with a core injury for the last 4 years or so. Finally had surgery this offseason to correct it. And early on in camp, he looks very much like a number 1 corner, and having that sort of piece would be huge for new defensive coordinator Nick Sorensen. Takeaway number 3, Devondre Campbell, another offseason addition, looks fantastic. Looks like he did the last couple of years in Green Bay. He was together with Kyle Shanahan in Atlanta when Campbell was a rookie. They know what he can do. And of course, they brought him in after losing Dre Greenlaw to a torn ACL in the Super Bowl. And so for the time being, Campbell is the replacement for Greenlaw. When Greenlaw comes back at some point between week 6 and week 8, the Niners coaches are going to have to figure out how to deploy those two around all-pro middle linebacker Fred Warner, which of course is a pretty good problem to have. Takeaway number 4, obviously the big question for the offensive line is what happens with Trent Williams. Assuming the all-pro left tackle is back in the saddle when the season begins, that group should be a real strength. One under the radar name to watch there, 3rd round pick Dominic Puny has impressed everybody through his first few weeks in the pros. Right now, he's taking snaps with the starters with Spencer Burford hurt. Whether it's a Burford spot or somewhere else, I'd expect that he's going to be a starter for the Niners in 2024. And finally, takeaway number 5, this is maybe the best roster in football. That doesn't mean they don't have things they have to sort out. 2 of those things, depth at receiver and depth at safety. At receiver, of course, they're dealing with the Brandon Ayuk situation. Deebo Samuel has come back in fantastic shape, maybe the best shape of his career. But beyond those 2, they're going to have to figure out some roles. Juwan Jennings obviously will be in the mix. And then a couple of rookies to watch. 1st round pick, Ricky Pearsall is, the obvious one. But 4th round pick, Jacob Cowling is going to have a chance as well. And then at safety, they're still waiting for Talanoa Hufanga to come back. They're expecting him back before the season starts. Jair Brown looked pretty good in 2023, like he's going to be a key piece in 2024. But beyond those 2, to find a little bit more depth and plan to do that over the next month or so at camp.